Good Tuesday morning, everyone. This is Monica Corrado here, and it is time for Ask the GAPS Chef. That would be me. And I am happy to take your questions. My website is simplybeingwell.com. You can find me there. There are online classes there. There's information about books, upcoming events, teaching, all sorts of other things. Just a quick disclaimer, which I forgot to do until the middle last time, which is I am not a medical doctor. Nothing I talk about has to do with, has been approved by the FDA. And so, I will, of course, do my best to accurately represent Dr. Natasha Campbell-McBride's teachings in the Gut and Psychology Syndrome book, Yellow, we call it affectionately, in the blue book called Gut and Physiology Syndrome, and then, of course, Vegetarianism Explained, green, and Put Your Heart in Your Mouth. Is that right? Yes, red. Anyway, I have a couple of things to announce today. One is that all of you know that I think that my new book, second edition, I hope that's not backwards for you. Anyway, second edition is out and available in English, in hardcover with a spiral, and as of Sunday, I think it was the 12th of March, my French version is available, as well as Italian. For everyone that speaks French as their native language or Italian, please do take a look at my publisher's website for those. I can't even believe it. Phenomenal. I mean, that's so cool that my book is being translated into these languages. Also, next up, Spanish and German. Okay, so I wanted to tell you all of that. Really excited about that. My publisher's been working on that, and it's a wonderful thing. Hello, let's say hello to everyone jumping in. Hello, Victorious Valerie. Love that. Hello, Maria. Hello, Jana. Hello, Vicky. Hello, Joanna. Hello, Anissa. Thank you so much. I hope you are doing well. I hope all of you are doing well this fine, fine Tuesday on our way to the spring equinox, which is in the northern, at least in the northern hemisphere, it'll be spring coming right up. A week. Is that true? A week from today. Spring equinox. Holy moly. All right, so we have to talk all about that. Hello, Alyssa. Good to have you. Hello, Natasha. All right. Alyssa, I'll answer your question. I haven't started teaching yet, but I'm going to answer your question now. When I make liver, I make a batch of pate or a whole lamb liver and eat it until it's gone, which means a week or so and then a week or two off. A little liver. Oh, is a little liver every other week? Do I need to eat less? So, good question, Alyssa, and good question for everyone. Do you need to eat less? You need to eat what your body tells you to eat. Some people crave liver and are eating up to 1 pound a day. No joke. Other people are eating half a pound a day. Other people are eating a handful of frozen liver shots every day. Other people are making meatloaf and eating that all week. So whatever your body says, whatever your body wants, I would listen to, because I know you, Alyssa, for many years now, and I know that you keep your body in balance, and it's been balanced, and it's been eating clean food for a very long time, so it will accurately represent to you what it needs. So eat as much as you want, and listen to your body. That's usually what I tell everyone on the call, whenever I talk to anyone. Yeah. Do you need to eat less? No. Do you need to eat more? Maybe. Enjoy. Bon appetit, Alyssa, and everyone else. Okay. So, all right, my next announcement. You're welcome. I have just thinking about this. If there's anything else Alyssa needs to know, or anyone else. No. Listen to your body. Hello, Esther. Good to have you. All right, and everyone that's here, welcome to everyone. Welcome to new members of the group. Welcome to people who have not been to the Facebook Live before. Welcome to everyone who comes every week. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I surely enjoy being with you here every week. All right, to the newbies, just to let you know, please do search the page with the search function before you post a question, because we've been going for a while now. There's a lot of good information on the group page. Number 2, please make sure you consult the books, meaning the blue book or the yellow book, before you post a question. Very important. Or gaps.me. FAQs. Dr. Natasha is really good, has done an amazing, there's just amazing amount of information she's put for free right there on her website. Go to her website first, gaps.me, for any answer to any question. Before you run around the web, there's a lot of information out there that is maybe not up to date with GAPS, which is an evolving protocol, as you all know. That's why the blue book is about. All right, last thing to announce before we talk about the subject today, and that is that I have just scheduled my first Learn to Cook intensive. I haven't taught this particular intensive training since 2018. So it's the first time in 5 years. It runs from June 1st until September 13th with 2 cooking weekends, long day weekends, one in June and one in August. And so if you're interested, please do send me an email, monica@simplybeingwell.com. Go to my webpage. It's all up to date there on the calendar, on the Learn to Cook page. It's also called Level 1 Teacher Training, because anyone who wants to learn to teach others, which no one has to, but everyone who wants to teach others how to cook needs to take Level 1, which, again, you're not obliged to go on to Level 2 or obligated, but Level 1 is called Learn to Cook, and it's open to everyone, whether you've been cooking GAPS for 10 years or you've never cooked GAPS, or you have been cooking Weston Price and you want to get a tune-up. So it's for old hands and newbies and everyone in between. I've done this for many, many years prior to 2018, and everyone enjoys the training. All right, moving on. So today, again, welcome to everyone. Today we're going to talk about fasting. And I want to talk about this because we're going into spring equinox or spring in the northern hemisphere again. And the energy of spring is cleaning out, clearing out, new growth coming, whoosh, right? Like sprouting, right? Movement, sprouting, movement. It is also known in the Chinese calendar as liver time. Liver, large intestine time. Am I right? Wrong. Liver, gallbladder time. Sorry. Lung, large intestine is in September. That's another time when it's a wonderful time to harness, to take advantage of in a good way, to make the most of, to maximize the energetic that is already happening in the earth. And that is what we call liver time. It is, the element is wood. But it's about sprouting and movement. And I'm going like this because that's what all the seeds are doing, right? They're coming up through the earth from the germination of the winter, boom, up through the earth. They're sprouting, there's green. And it's time for us to really look at our liver and to support the liver. Now, I have from last year on my YouTube channel, Ask the Gap Chef. Just put Ask the Gap Chef liver, and you will find a YouTube video that I did a year ago called It's Liver Time. So I'm not going to go over all of that because that's already available to you. However, I would like to go over fasting. Why? Because liver time is a great time to detoxify. Now, a lot of people are detoxing all day and or all year. And the GAPS diet has an entire detoxification protocol, which I know you all know. It involves all sorts of things like walking in the sunshine, getting outside, breathing fresh air, detoxification baths, enemas, all sorts of things. Oil pulling, there's lots of things for detoxing on GAPS. And it's very important to support the body, anyone's body, when you start GAPS, no matter where you start. Whether you start on intro or you start on full GAPS, it's important to support detoxification to help the body to detoxify when you come to GAPS, because there'll be a lot of die-off happening as you both starve pathogens and as you bring in probiotic foods. Okay. However, there are 2 times of year when the energy of the earth, if you will, the energetic, what's going on around you, what's going on in the planet, will help if you harness it, if you maximize it, if you take advantage of this energy in a good way, like you go, oh, it's liver time. That would be now. What can I do to really support my liver right now? Because your liver's going into overdrive. Don't quote me on that. But the liver is doing its thing right now. It's waking up. It's saying, oh, it's liver time. Spring. Time to detoxify. So what a wonderful thing for you to really harness that energy now, spring, and again in the fall when it is large intestine time. Those are 2 other major detoxification organs in the body. The lungs, all the time, we're detoxifying carbon dioxide. And, of course, the large intestine, you're getting stuff out, right? You are releasing everything that's not needed, that's not wanted, that the body cannot use, goes out, right? Goes out, the large intestine. So let's talk about liver time now. The reason that I brought up fasting is because there is a fabulous, well, first of all, because I'm seeing some talk about it out on the page and in other groups about, ooh, how are you coming off liquid fast? And ooh, what are you doing for liquid fast? And ooh, how long are you on liquid fast? And one more time with feeling, folks, before you do anything in the GAPS diet, read the book. That's why I'm really making sure that people are not getting in the group unless they've read the book. Now, they could be lying to me, which I hope they are not, because it's not nice to do. But it is a qualifier to get on in this group to read the book, because you can't do something without the manual, folks. I mean, a lot of people try to. They just jump right in without the manual, but the manual are manuals. We've got 2, yellow and blue, so let's use them. So I'm talking about GAPS liquid fasting because I see that people are paying attention to it and trying it out, and also because now would be the time to do it. So, one more time with feeling, blue book, an entire chapter, starts on 202 page. All right, so I just want to go over these things. 1, some people should not fast. Who should not fast? People who are really malnourished. So, whoa. A lot of people, when they come from, let's say the majority, let's say almost all, of the people that come to GAPS from the standard American diet, sad. As you know, it's a sad thing to be eating the standard American diet, right? Very high carb, lots of glyphosate, lots of chemicals, fungicides, herbicides, GMOs. I mean, goodness gracious, there's bioengineered ingredients and everything now. I'm going to talk to you about butter in a minute, too. What I just found out from one of our members, who's a dear friend and an amazingly brilliant chiropractor and healer human being. We'll talk about that later. Okay, so who should not fast? People who are malnourished. Do not, again, when you get to GAPS, you have to make your own decisions. You need to read your own body. You need to know what's best for you. What's best for you, not because I said it, not because some doctor said it, but because you know in your own gut, no pun intended, you know what's best for you. However, the guidelines that Dr. Natasha has put forward are do not fast, do not try the GAPS liquid fast if you are malnourished. So it's probably not a good idea if you're just coming to GAPS to start with the GAPS liquid fast. All right, who else? Underweight people, slim people. Whoa. Underweight, slim. No way, Jose. Do not do it. What else? No pregnant women. Nobody who's pregnant should be fasting. No nursing women should be fasting. This is straight out of the book. Do not try the GAPS liquid fast if you're nursing, pregnant, underweight, thin, or malnourished. Okay? Really important thing to do. All right. La 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 la. Hold on a second. Now, there is one caveat to that, one exception. So Dr. Natasha says, in the first few days of pregnancy, when you're nauseous, maybe you're having morning sickness and you have no appetite, then the GAPS liquid fast would be helpful. As soon as the nausea subsides, as soon as you're no longer sick to your stomach, as soon as you're hungry again, you drop it and you get right on full GAPS. Okay? All right. What else? Here's another one. People with acute ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease may be underweight. So that means they shouldn't do it, but she says they should do it because their gut simply cannot handle solid food. So one more time with feeling. If you're underweight, but the reason is you have Crohn's or UC, GAPS liquid fast is great for you. If you're newly pregnant and nauseous in the first few days that you're aware you're pregnant, you could do the GAPS liquid fast. GAPS. You could do the GAPS liquid fast until your appetite returns. Just a few days, no problem. All right, but in general, if you're malnourished, underweight, pregnant and nursing, you should not do it as you shouldn't do it, okay, except for those two things I just said. All right, so GAPS liquid fast. Who should do it? So I'm taking a stab at it just for me, and then we'll look at the book. If you have been on GAPS for a while, a year, 2 years, maybe you've been on full for 6 months, 8 months, maybe you've gone through intro once or twice, and you're feeling stagnant, you're feeling toxic, you're feeling heavy, okay? It would be great for you to do a GAPS liquid fast. Yes. Who else? All right, here we go. Who should consider fasting? We're talking about the GAPS liquid fast. I'm not talking about intermittent fasting here. I can talk about that later. And I'm definitely not talking about water fasting because that is a no-no on GAPS according to Dr. Natasha. I do not recommend water fasting as is quite harsh on a body that is malnourished. Okay, so here we go. Who should consider fasting? Here we go. 203. When your body would like a rest from food, listen. It will let you know by suppressing your appetite. That would be a great time. Okay, that would be a great time to do a GAPS liquid fast. You don't want to eat? That's fine. Keep the nutrients coming in, but nothing solid. No problem, right? For some people, she says, this could be a day. For another person, it could be a month that you're on the GAPS liquid fast. People with a high toxic load. Listen to that, a high toxic load. People with stubborn symptoms that just are not moving on full GAPS, or even not moving on intro, right? Overweight people. People with severe allergies, and those who feel stuck in their healing process, okay, can find the GAPS liquid fast very helpful. People with severe digestive problems, again, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, may benefit from a period of avoiding solid foods and consuming only liquids. Ready for this? It is safe for children over 3 years old. that means they're 4 and above, to go on the GAPS liquid fast. Children are generally better connected to their bodies. Children are generally better connected to their bodies than adults. Yeah. Why? Because they haven't been brainwashed to be eating all this other CRAP. Sorry. And they will refuse food when they have no appetite. So that's fine. But they may go ahead and drink, right, on GAPS liquid fast. And then when they're hungry, they'll let you know. Okay. So, really great. I hope you all got that. Who should do a GAPS liquid fast? People who feel stuck on the diet. People who have a high toxic load. People who are overweight, right? People who have severe allergies. People who have severe digestive issues, meaning ulcerative colitis and or Crohn's disease. GAPS liquid fast is a godsend. I have to tell you, folks, I personally love the GAPS liquid fast. I've worked with clients who have had Crohn's and UC, and it's like a miracle. It really is an amazing thing to stop the fiber, the roughage, the sandpaper of food going through their digestive tracts long enough so that it can heal. Isn't that cool? It's so cool. It's really an amazing thing. Just another thing that shows how incredibly powerful food is, what you choose to eat, what you choose not to eat, how you prepare it, etc., how you are present to it. Are you aware and present to your eating? Remember the GAPS mealtime ritual, very important. I may assign that as a homework for this week. Not that I could assign you to do anything, but maybe everyone wants to try the GAPS mealtime ritual every night at dinner this week. And then let's talk about it next week. What happened when you actually took 3 deep breaths, right? 3 times, and then engaged with the food and were ready to take it in. You engage your parasympathetic. When you do that, nervous system, you're actually able to digest food. It's a wonderful thing. Jana asks, what about collagenous colitis? Well, I don't know specifically what that is, but if it is a need for collagen, then I would suggest that, yeah, it's phenomenal for providing collagen because it's very heavy on meat stock, of course. Okay, Adam. Hello, Adam. How long should we try the GAPS liquid fast at minimum? Dr. Natasha says 1 day. Try a day. See how you feel. 1 day. See how you feel. And then the next month, try it 2 days. 2 days in a row. See how you feel. It's all about you and what your body needs and how it feels when you do these things. Right? Good question. Great question. You're welcome. All right. So let's do this thing. Hello to everyone who has joined us. Okay. So what is the GAPS liquid fast? Folks, really important. You're not sitting there drinking water all day, everyone. So you are drinking meat stock. Meat stock. You simply cannot drink too much when fasting. As soon as you finish one beverage, move to the next. Here is the list of liquids you should consume on the GAPS fast. Again, Blue Book 203. Here we go. Meat stock. Drink it hot or warm. Make sure to remove any solids as the stock needs to be clear. Okay? It provides collagen, other proteins, minerals, amino acids, and a plethora of other building materials. Yeah? Make gelatinous stock by boiling joints and bones with ligaments and some meat, skin, feet, and heads, salt, black pepper, bay leaves. You can also add your favorite spices. You can add your vegetables. However, you do not want to eat any of them. Okay? I do not recommend bone broth because of the glutamic acid. What's next? vegetable medley. I hope everyone has their vegetable medley going on their counter or in their refrigerator. Okay? Vegetable medley. During fasting, use a lot of salt. It will replenish your system. Vegetable medley is salty. Okay. If, for whatever reason, remembering vegetable medley is made with kefir whey, very important, right? If you're not able to have vegetable medley, then add some natural salt to every glass of water you drink, about a half a teaspoon per 8 ounces. Brine from home fermented vegetables is another beverage. So brine from the pickles and brine from your fermented beets and brine from whatever else you've got in there. You're drinking that brine. Yeah. Vegetable broth. First place she talks about vegetable broth. Right? You can slow cook all sorts of vegetables in water for several hours or even overnight. She teaches you how to do that. Yeah? Good. Wonderful. Fresh whey. Herbal teas. Green juices. No fruit juices on this GAPS Liquid Fast. Green juices. Cucumber, celery, greens, garlic, lettuce, kale, Swiss chard, parsley, etc. Lemon. Sour is your friend. We talked about the lemon last week. Lemon is fabulous. Everyone, start squeezing those lemons in your hot water or your warm water every morning. Add a little bit of turmeric or a little bit of cayenne pepper for liver. Wake up. Get your liver moving. Okay. Natural mineral and spring water, still and carbonated. Okay. Must be room temperature or warm. Here's a really important thing. People ask me all the time, why no ice, Monica? Why no ice? Why can't I drink things cold? What about meat stock cold? And here's what we've got. I've started from Dr. Natasha. Drinking chilled water is stressful for the digestive system and will interfere with its ability to heal. Forget that ice, baby. It's not helping you. Warm water, room temperature water, right? It's important to drink your water at room temperature or warm. So, add lemon juice and or add a little organic apple cider vinegar, a tablespoon per glass. Fasting makes the body quite acidic, and drinking plain water does not alleviate this problem. Lemon and cider vinegar have the right mineral profile to help your body maintain a normal acid-alkaline balance. All right. Whatever you do, do not... Here we go. Make sure, so scrub that one, starting over. Make sure to buy your water in glass bottles. Do not buy mineral water in plastic. Plastic bottles leach toxic chemicals into the water. Do not use tap water. In most places around the world, it carries a heavy load of man-made chemicals. All right, there you have it. So, one more time with feeling. GAPS Liquid Fast has a lot of liquids in it, folks. Lots and lots of liquids that you should be drinking. Not just meat stock, that's clear, but vegetable medley, brine from home fermented vegetables, vegetable broth you make yourself, herbal teas that are loose herbal teas, ginger tea, fresh whey, green juices, natural mineral and spring water with ACV or lemon. All right, that's what we've got. So, again, one more time with feeling. This would be a great thing for anyone to try if you wanted to. Believe me, no one has to do this, and if you have any anxiety about it, don't, because you will know when to do this. You'll be like, golly, that sounds really good. I think I'll do that. But if you're sitting there going, I don't know, I'm not sure how I'm going to feel, maybe it'll be too strong, maybe I'll have a lot of die-off, maybe I don't have time for this right now. I'm traveling too much. Any of that stuff is not alignment, and don't do anything when you're not in alignment. So if this is calling to you and saying, oh boy, I think that sounds pretty good to me, I'll just do a day next week. Make sure it's a time when you can be at home and you can listen to your body and you can rest if you need to, and you can stay off all the digital stuff, and you can read books and, just hang out on the couch or in a good chair and relax. You can write, you can draw, you can take good walks in nature, you can, whatever. But just take care of yourself. And again, what's the minimum amount? A day. What's the maximum amount? Apparently it's 42 days. That's what's in the book anyway. But I'm not suggesting anyone go do a 42-day liquid fast right now. But I am suggesting that if this calls to you and you are in one of those categories that may benefit, try it. Just do a day. It might be fun to break up the monotony of your current diet, of what you're eating or what your day is like or whatever. And I'm suggesting that now is a great time to do it because it is liver time. It's springtime, spring equinox, 21st of March. I think it's the 21st. It's usually 21st. Great time to do a GAPS liquid fast if you qualify. Right. Never, ever do anything that does not feel like the next right move for you. And, maybe it's not the next right move right now, but maybe it will be in September, around the fall equinox. Just an idea. All right. Is raw milk okay? No. Raw milk is not okay on this. If you'll notice, every single thing that's on here is clear. Raw milk requires digestion, and also raw milk is high in sugar, and so we're not doing any cultured dairy on this thing. So we're just doing things that are clear. Meat stock that's clear, vegetable medley that's clear, brine is clear, vegetable broth is clear, herbal teas are clear. They might be a little greenish if you put nettles in there. Fresh whey is clear. Green juices are clear. Well, they're green, but they're juices, and they're not. They are not with eggs, and they are not with sour cream, etc. So no water kefir. One more time with feeling, Alyssa. Water kefir is not really on GAPS. I know that's a terrible thing to say, but it's true. Maybe it's not a terrible thing to say. It's just not in here. So, again, water kefir, maybe not yours, but can be very tricky because can have a lot of sugar. No milk, Yasmin. No milk on the GAPS liquid fast. No milk, no cultured dairy, no dairy products on the GAPS liquid fast. If you want your kefir, benefits of kefir, it is in the vegetable medley. Yes. And yes, you could leave it out to get to room temperature, Alyssa, if that's something that you wanted to do. What's interesting is I'm also not seeing kombucha on this list, and beet kvass. Beet kvass may be fine because it's, it's a tonic. So there you go. No sugar left, I know. So yeah, room temperature, Alyssa. Room temperature or warm room temperature. Anything that you're consuming on this fabulous GAPS liquid fast is going to be room temperature or warm. She also talks about here and there sprinkled around the quote, chew the brine, chew the vegetable medley, chew the vegetable broth, chew the fresh whey, meaning chew it. Swish it around your mouth, right? Chew it. All right, let's see what else is coming in here. Kombucha too sweet? Well, again, your kombucha should not be sweet if it's made correctly and long enough, right? If it's made long enough. All right, so here we go. I hope that was helpful for folks. GAPS Liquid Fast. I do encourage you to jump on YouTube and grab my It's Liver Time Facebook Live that I did for this group last year. It should be somewhere around March 2022, somewhere in there, on Ask the Gap Chef on YouTube. So please let me know if you have other questions about that. All right, and then let me know on the page about, I may throw a little thing up to say who's doing GAPS liquid fasting. All right. Okay, very helpful. Excellent. So Ramadan is coming up for us Muslims. Yes. Ramadan comes right at spring equinox for us. Any tips on what to eat? Pre-dawn meal and sunset meals. We break our fast on 3 dates before the actual meal. On 3 dates or on 3 times? All right. Pre-dawn meal and sunset meals. Well, everything on GAP, not everything, but certainly meat stock is, I don't know what you can and cannot eat. I'm sorry for my ignorance. But certainly I would be eating those nutrient-dense foods if you could. This is not about liquid fasting anymore, everybody. So I would be eating eggs and egg yolks and Russian custard and cultured cream and hearty soups that have good salt and cultured cream in them that are made from good, gelatinous stock. Yeah, that's what I would be doing. You could eat anything, just no pork. Okay, no pork, no problem. So yeah, I mean, I would just be eating hearty things that will sustain you. The great news is that many foods on GAPS are sustaining. They nourish us. They satiate us. They make us feel like they stabilize our blood sugar so that we can go without food for a long time. So yeah, I would do that. I would do that. I would be looking at hearty soups and stews served with cultured cream and good salt and egg yolks, and I would be having organ meat if you can do it, liver, heart, lots of eggs. I'm trying to think of what else. That's what I would be doing. It's my idea. Hope that's helpful. All right. Sherry. Hello, Sherry. On GAPS intro, I am having allergic reactions to stages 1, 2, and 3 foods. Egg whites, nut butter, cultured dairy, and sauerkraut. Okay, Sherry, first question. I need to know what your quote-unquote allergic reactions are. So let me pull that apart. Egg whites could be allergic reaction because it's protein. Nut butter could be a reaction. Nut butter could be an allergic reaction because it's a nut protein in the nut. Cultured dairy is protein. Sauerkraut would have to do with a histamine response. I'm putting that in quotes. And we need to be able to discern, pull apart, really discern whether this is an allergic reaction or it's just die-off. So just die-off, meaning if your reactions, if your responses to these things, let me back up. If you're having allergic reactions to egg whites, then you need to be hanging out on stage 2 and not moving to stage 3. Okay, let me see what you're saying. Burning lips, felt like I had a stroke. I couldn't remember, dropping things, exhausted headaches. Sounds like a lot of die-off to me. So Sherry and everyone, I would really suggest going back. Well, again, up to you. But what I would suggest to anyone that's having these responses, when I work with people, this is what we do. We start on stage 1 and we only do meat stock. We do meat stock with vegetables, with meat, we make blended soups, and we start with a little bit of whey, which is your probiotic juice that goes into every cup. And we do that very slowly, and we always start, if you think you have an issue, you do a skin sensitivity test prior to introducing whey. So it sounds to me like you are moving too quickly. You may be moving too quickly through the stages, and you may be adding too much in. So one of the things that I always suggest to people is to start with a very little bit. So in the book, Dr. Natasha talks a lot about starting with a teaspoon For some people, need to start with a drop. So do a skin sensitivity test before you add anything that you're concerned about. Make sure it's clear. That means no angry red spot on the wrist. And then start with a very little bit of that food. If you don't have an angry red spot, start with a very little bit of that food mixed in with something else, not on its own. So if you are concerned about whey, maybe you do a skin sensitivity test. Your skin is fine. You start with a drop of homemade whey in a whole bowl of soup. And then you see if you can tolerate it. So everyone, be sure that you're going slowly when you're introducing foods that could be problematic. If they are problematic, meaning you have a reaction, you take them out of the diet for 2 weeks at a minimum, and then you try to add them back in. You could keep them out for a month if you want. This is not about anyone with anaphylaxis, folks. I'm not talking about anaphylaxis. I'm talking about histamine responses. I'm talking about die-off. I'm talking about headaches and exhaustion and flu-like symptoms and eczema flares and rashes and hives and joint pain and all that stuff that could be die-off. So slow and steady, slow and steady, slow and steady. That's what I would suggest. And exhausted and headaches, these are all die-off symptoms. Burning lips, not so much. But I would figure out what exactly caused the burning lips, and I would write those things down, and I would start with just one thing, slowly bring it in, back off if you have too strong of a response, right? If you have a red spot, folks, just to be clear, angry red spot, skin test. Stop, do not proceed for a minimum of 2 weeks. Maybe you want to make it 4 before you try another skin test to do it again. If you are fine, skin test is fine, you bring in a little tiny bit, you're fine. You add more on day 3, you get a big headache. Just stop at that level, stay there for a while till your body gets used to it, and then add a little bit more, right? This is called the Monica Corrado stair-step method of introducing foods. It's in another one of my YouTubes, I'm sure. All right, I hope that's helpful. Good, Sherry. Remember, this one thing that everyone, I know you've heard me say before, GAPS is not a race. We don't race to get through intro. We use GAPS to develop a relationship, meaning intro diet. We use the stages to get a real sense of, how is my digestion working? How is my body feeling? What's my toxin level? How much can I handle? How much can I not handle? Right? So it's not a race. It's information. If a body has a difficult reaction, then we stop and stay there for a while until it clears. Or we back up and stay there for a while and then go forward. Right? Or we take the food out. Don't have it for a while and then try to bring it back in. Okay. Hey, Joanna. What does she have to say? I was wondering what can make ferment slimy. Yeast. Usually it's calm yeast, KAHM, that can make ferment slimy. I would up the amount of salt. Seems like the ones containing beets were the worst. Yes, beets can do it. Carrots can do it. Sauerkraut can do it. You can find it anywhere. I would just go ahead and see about adding more. Either add more salt to the next batch, or you could use a different kind of starter for the next batch and see if that shifts it for you. Yep. All right, Alyssa says, not a fasting question. I have access to a ritzy grocery store. Woohoo! It cuts the skin off boneless, skinless chicken breasts and thighs. I know. You know, Whole Foods does the same thing. God bless us. Oh, mamma mia. Okay. They are saving the skin for me. Excellent. It makes the absolute most jelly broth with only an hour or so of cooking. Yes. But I am also enjoying eating the skin. Excellent. I mix it with a little meat and mushrooms, green onions, etc. I'm wondering what GAP says about the skin, using it more like a vegetable. Go for it. Or something to add to the dish that I would not consider not too high in protein. Where would you put it? I think it's fabulous. Skin is connective tissue. That's high collagen. That is protein, believe it or not. Yes, I would. It sounds great, Alyssa. Eat it any way that you love. That's a wonderful way to do it. Great idea that they are giving you the skin. God bless all the people that are not eating it. So yeah, very high in it's connective tissue, skin, collagen, and some fat. Yep, go for it. Sounds wonderful. Okay, let's see. How long will chicken fat last in the refrigerator? Hi, Marie. Okay, is that chicken fat that you have rendered? Or is that like a chunk of chicken fat you pulled off a chicken? You know, that nice yellow thing. If you've rendered it, it'll last forever in the refrigerator. I don't know, a year, 6 months, long time. If you haven't rendered it, it'll still last a very long time because fat doesn't tend to go bad. Yeah, that's fine. Yep, it'll last forever. Just keep it in a jar, glass jar with a lid. 6 months, a year. Yep. Uma. No problem. Is it allowed clay bath in gaps? Yes. Make sure the clay is clean though, folks, because who's we? I don't know. Scientists, people that would know, are finding high levels of lead in clay. So make sure whatever bentonite clay that you're getting, whatever clay you're getting for gaps, for baths, is not full of lead. Okay? Can children, yes, 2 children can share. Yep, this question was on the page. I know I answered it probably in the detox bath talk I did a couple months back. But yes, you can have 2 children in the same detox bath. I personally recommend when you do detox baths that you do one thing, because each one of the detox baths does a different thing for you. Meaning apple cider vinegar, right, is going to be acidic, and that's going to do one thing. And baking soda, bicarbonate of soda, is alkaline. That's going to do something else. And seaweed bath is full of iodine. That's going to do something else. And Epsom salts are magnesium, and that's going to do something else. So I personally suggest that you don't combine them. Do one type of bath at a time. And do take a look at that YouTube that I did a while back on detox baths. Just put Ask the Gap Chef Detox. Boom, in the search bar in YouTube, and it'll come up for you. Yes, they can, Uma. All right. Who has any other questions for me? I'll take questions on anything you want, whether it's fasting or liver or anything you want. Wait, I want to go back up because I think someone told me about a liver pate they were making way back up here. Victorious Valerie. I don't know if you're still on. I made a yummy chicken liver with sauteed onions, lots of ghee, garlic, lots of lemon juice, seasoned herbs, and unrefined sea salt. It was so yummy. Yes. Good for you. I think I'll make some tonight. Delicious. Okay. Can you give TRS, or Pure Body Zeolite, to children on the GAPS diet for heavy metal detox? So, I'm not familiar with TRS. I do know Pure Body Zeolite. I think I know it. Isn't that by, who is that by? I'm forgetting the name of them. Anyway, I think it's a spray, right? So here's the deal. Hello, honey. Welcome. All right. Can you give it to children? Yes. However, my understanding, and this is my understanding at this time, is that we want to give the GAPS diet, like this is me, this is my understanding, we want, of what Dr. Natasha is saying, which is get the children on GAPS for a while before we start doing detox. Meaning detox, heavy metal detox. Like, get the body what it needs before you do that. Make sure that the malnutrition is gone and the body is nourished and the detox pathways are open. So that's like a year or 2 on GAPS before you start the children on zeolite. That's my understanding at this time. I don't know anything different. Let me write it down. Let me see if I can find from, zeolite for children. I mean, I know that Dr. Natasha is fine with zeolite. The question is when to introduce it for children or anyone else. And again, my understanding for everything in GAPS is to do the diet for a while and let the nutritional protocol do its magic before we bring in zeolite. All right, we've been on the diet for a year. Excellent. Okay, Yasmin, so maybe now you could. All right, Anissa says, it's about 3 months since my husband is on stage 2. He's tolerating everything so far, but recommend to stay on it for a while for gout. Since he hasn't started using the kraut itself, how do I manage to choose the kraut? Find myself adding salt and water to my kraut every other day. All right, here's what I would do. 2 things. Number 1, I would get him on. Let him, even though he's on what we call, he is staying on stage 2 for a long time. Some people call that extended stage 2. You're welcome to bring in kraut if he's on there for a long time. I would do that, see how he does with the fiber of the kraut. So start with a, forkful, see if he's fine with that. Let him start on the kraut. If people are staying on stage 2 for a long time, you are welcome after being on stage 2 for 2, 3, 4, 6 months. If you're still on stage 2 and you're feeling good there and you want to stay there, go ahead and start fermented vegetables slowly. We introduce everything slowly. See how he does. The other option is, for Anissa, the other option is to make cabbage tonic. So cabbage tonic is, I put the recipe on our page under featured posts. It's about cabbage tonic and beet kvass. This is an article I wrote that you can read. The recipe's right there. Make cabbage tonic. If you want a lot of cabbage juice, if you will, or the brine from sauerkraut is cabbage tonic. So figured you can do 1 or 2 of those things. Good question, Anissa. Excellent. All right, let's see. Marie asks, my iridologist had me do an apple cider vinegar soak. Then 4 days later, do a bath soak of 35% of food-grade peroxide for 20 minutes. Great. Sounds good. Excellent. Yep. All right, here is Roseanne. Hello, Roseanne from Aurora. Roseanne, I'm teaching Learn to Cook in Loveland, Colorado in June. Check it out on my website. What are ways to increase electrolytes for kids besides electrolyte packets or sports drinks? Salt. Yeah, so good question. Yeah, we don't want to use those things. Bluck, bluck, bluck. Most of them have a bunch of sugar and garbage, maltodextrin, corn, garbage in them. So I suggest that you make a fabulous electrolyte drink. Water, lemon juice, and some salt. Ta-da! That's the perfect sports drink, if you will. Water, lemon juice, salt. What kind? But the salt needs to be high mineral salt, like Baja Gold or Redmond Real Salt at least, or Celtic Gray salt. Yeah. Yes. Dr. Natasha talks about that too, I wonder. And do you know that stock is high in electrolytes too? Imagine that. Electrolytes. I'm not finding it in the blue book really fast. So that's the best way to go. Any kind of lemon or citrus. You could do lemon, lime, and salt and water. Boom, you've got an electrolyte drink. Electrolyte's all about positive and negative charge. It's all about minerals. So salt and water. You can also use something called a, oh goodness, what is it called? I use it every day. Something with salt. A Soleil, S-O-L-E. Soleil, salt, Soleil. Yes. All right, good. Uma, our detox baths. Both my kids have skin rash. Is that okay? So, Uma, depending on what kind of skin. So here's what I suggest. Try one bath at a time and see how they do. So their skin issues, skin rashes, may do better with baking soda baths. So I would do like baking soda bath and see, does it make the rash worse? Does it calm it down? Right? And then wait a couple days and then try, I would wait 2 or 3 days, then try the apple cider vinegar bath and see, does it make it worse? Does it make it better? Right? These are tools for you. I personally, again, this is the word according to Monica, do not believe that everyone should be doing all the detox baths if they have skin issues. Some skin issues will be better with alkaline water, which is baking soda, bicarbonate of soda. Some skin issues will do better with seaweed because of the iodine. Some skin issues will do better with ACV, which is acidifying the water. So I would test the children and see which is best for them. And at the same time, again, when I'm working with people, if your children have really bad rashes, like they're broken skin, like they're oozing or they're bleeding, I would not be doing detox baths at all. I would be doing like raw honey on those boo-boos, on those rashes, or comfrey leaves or something to really work with it. So I would try out the different detox baths and see which ones work best for your children. All right, good. Let's see. Okay, you're welcome. Sherry asks, why does it seem that there are so many ex-vegans on GAPS? I'm a vegan nutrition health coach doing GAPS. Alkaline, organic, least hybridized foods. I felt great until year 11. Because veganism, I'm sorry group, but this is the deal. Plants are cleansers. Plants are cleansers. One more time with feeling. Plants are cleansers. You cannot cleanse 24/7, 365 and have a healthy body. You cannot. You cannot. Dr. Natasha says it over and over and over again. Animal foods are builders. Plant foods are cleansers. Animal foods are builders. Plant foods are cleansers. That is why when you eat vegetables for a very long time, you will set up nutritional deficiencies. Especially when you're eating vegetables that are real vegetables and not like processed garbage, like tofu that's manufactured and, tofu pups and, oh my God, help us, all that garbage, processed foods. If you're just eating vegetables, which is what vegan's supposed to be, then you are not supplying the body with nutrients. And when you don't do that for years at a time, you will set up nutritional deficiencies. You will be malnourished, and your body will start breaking down, especially your brain. Your brain will stop functioning. You'll get very angry and very depressed, and your body will start eating itself. I know that sounds terrible, but I really suggest, Sherry, if you haven't read this book, this is the book. Yeah, it's so small. It's so tiny. Is it 100 pages? I don't know. It's 148 pages. Yeah, 147 pages. It's written in really big font, maybe size 14. And the reality is it's here and it's so easy to read. Veganism is a fast. It's a cleanse. And no one in the world except for, I'm sorry to say this, but I'll say first world Americans who have the choice will go vegan for a very long time. Okay, that's what I've said. Hopefully I haven't offended anybody. But read the Vegetarianism Explained book. It's great. She talks about all sorts of great things in there. Make an informed decision. So use that. Blessings on all of your paths, really. Blessings to everyone. Okay, Marie says, I do lemon juice, teaspoon of Soleil, and water. Perfect, yep. All right, let's see what else we've got. Oh my God, we're over. Okay, Bonnie says, hello, Bonnie. Ex-vegan here. I reread Dr. Natasha's Vegetarianism book over and over to remind myself. You reread it. Yep, I tend to get the pull to go back to veganism, so I reread the book, easy read and pure Brilliant. Wonderful, Bonnie. Thank you for that, for sharing that. Adam says the consequences of veganism sound like the life of autistic kids. You cannot create a thriving human body eating all vegetables when you're pregnant. Can't. All right. You're welcome, Sherry. Yep, get the book. It's cheap, it's easy, and get a couple copies for your friends. You're welcome, Uma. It's not bad, just a little bit in the chest and back only. So, Uma, just try different detox baths. Give a couple days rest in between and see how it goes. See what's best for them. Roseanne says, my son has been telling me he needs more electrolytes. Thanks for your suggestions. Now take a look at your website for your class. Excellent. Yeah, when you need more electrolytes, that usually means I need more salt. I need more minerals. So make sure that you have good salt, Roseanne, and everyone else. You want to have, I've talked about salt too, so jump on YouTube, find Ask the Gap Chef Salt. I did an entire talk on salt, different types of salt, why they're important, blah, 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 how to use them, all that good stuff. Okay, check it out. You are a blessing. Oh, thank you, Sherry. Thank you for being here. I really, my life is about helping people be well through food. And I did a lot of searching before I found the GAPS diet. And I have to say that it's got everything you need to be well. Everything. And, yeah. Beginning with clean food, clean food. No processed food. That's the beginning. Right? And then people get well. So you're welcome. All right, folks, we've gone over. I would love for us to do the little mealtime ritual. Find the mealtime ritual. This is your homework. Not that anybody has to do it because I don't, this isn't a class. Well, maybe it is, but I don't, I just think it would be wonderful. Let's all try it for a week, shall we? Let's do it. Mealtime ritual. Where is it? Mealtime ritual. Oh, it's not easy to find the mealtime ritual, but it's in here. It's in here. Wait a minute. I'm going to go to the front. La 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 la. Gaps. Page 212, blue. 212, blue book. Mealtime ritual. Take 3 deep breaths. Close your eyes. Put your feet on the ground. Take 3 deep breaths. And exhale. Prior to eating your meal this week. Try it at dinner, and then let's see how it goes on the page. All right, Victoria's Valerie, thank you so much for sharing and teaching on this. This information is so valuable, and I am forever grateful. You're so welcome, Victoria's Valerie. Thank you for joining us. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, everyone, be well. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Do not sweat it. Remember that life is supposed to be fun. And doing the diet can be an adventure. And yes, enjoy. Bon appetit. Try something new this week. Yeah? Okay. Blessings to everyone. Be well, and I will see you on Tuesday. Okay. You're welcome, Yasmin. I'm glad it's helpful. I really am. Okay. Bye, everyone. Mwah. Bye, Veronica. Good to see you.